The city of Toronto glittered like a promise the night the two families arrived. Snow fell softly, covering the streets in white, as if hiding the hardships beneath its beauty. For Daniel and Amara Okofor, and Ravi and Meera Patel, the journey from Nigeria and India had been filled with hope. They dreamed of opportunity, safety, and a better future for their children. Daniel and Amara had two children, 10-year-old Samuel and little Zara. Ravi and Meera had three, Arjun, Priya, and baby Together, the two families shared a small apartment building in the west end of the city, bound by friendship and the shared experience of being strangers in a new land. Back home, Daniel had been a respected engineer. Ravi had managed his own small business, but in Toronto, their qualifications were questioned, their experience not Canadian enough. Daniel found work as a night security guard. Ravi drove for a rideshare company, often working 12-hour shifts. Amara and Meera faced their own silent battles. Both had left behind extended families. Now, childcare was expensive, and loneliness filled the quiet hours of the day. Amara worked part-time at a grocery store, her accent drawing curious looks. Meera stitched clothes from home, advertising her services through community groups. Bills piled up like the winter snow. Rent was high. Groceries were expensive. Every dollar had to stretch further than it ever had before. For the children, life was different in ways they struggled to explain. Samuel missed the warm evenings playing soccer with cousins. At school, he tried to hide his lunch because classmates laughed at the smell of jollof rice. Arjun, once confident, grew quiet in class, afraid of mispronouncing words. Priya learned quickly, picking up the new accent faster than her parents. Sometimes she corrected Meera's pronunciation, not realizing the sting it caused. Zara cried at night, asking when they would go home, not yet understanding that this was home now. Yet slowly, they adapted. Samuel joined the school's soccer team. Arjun made a friend who shared his love for math. Priya began helping her mother translate school emails. The children were building bridges their parents struggled to cross. There were nights when Daniel sat alone in the kitchen, staring at rejection emails from engineering firms. Nights when Ravi calculated expenses again and again, hoping numbers would magically change. Amara missed her mother's advice. Meera missed the festivals that once filled her life with color and music. Here, celebrations were smaller, quieter. They recreated traditions in their apartments, cooking familiar dishes, playing music from home, telling stories of back then. But sometimes, homesickness turned into doubt. Did we make the right decision? Meera once whispered. Ravi didn't answer immediately. He thought of his children sleeping peacefully in a safe neighborhood, of schools with resources he never had growing up. We made the hard decision, he finally said. That doesn't mean it was the wrong one. Spring arrived at last. Snow melted. New beginnings seemed possible. Daniel enrolled in a certification program to meet local requirements. It meant less sleep, but more hope. Ravi began saving enough to think about starting a small logistics company. Amara was promoted to supervisor at the grocery store. Meera's tailoring business gained loyal customers. The children flourished. Samuel scored his first goal. Arjun won a math award. Priya performed in a school play. Zara stopped asking when they would go home, because slowly, quietly, they were building one. Years later, when they gathered in a small backyard for a shared summer barbecue, laughter filled the air. The struggles had not disappeared, they had simply changed shape. But resilience had taken root. Life abroad had not been the easy dream they imagined. It had been long hours, sacrifice, tears hidden behind brave smiles. It had been feeling invisible, misunderstood, and sometimes unwanted. But it had also been growth. The two couples realized something important. Success was no longer measured by titles or income alone. It was measured in their children's confidence, in the friendships they built, in the courage it took to begin again. The struggles of life abroad had shaped them, but it had not broken them. And under the wide Canadian sky, they finally felt that perhaps they belonged.